It's 6:30 a.m. Sunday morning, folks, so grab your coffee, sit down, and enjoy Laura Crowley, Doug DeForest, coming to you almost live from Houston, the biggest little city in Texas County. It's the people, sights, sounds, and tastes of downtown Houston after hours. Now here's your hosts, Doug DeForest and Laura Crowley. Well, folks, here we are at downtown Houston after hours. We're halfway through the season.
We are.
And we're
The
just
big five.
the big five. We're zooming up on 40 shows.
I know.
40 shows of this thing. It's still
been
kicking.
fun.
It's been a ball. We hope we can continue it.
Absolutely.
So we got the new set here at MPI. It's hard to say it. MPI Professional Media Professionals Inc. right here in downtown Houston. The new Crowley's Corner set.
Yeah.
It looks great. This is a
like
Bill
it.
Crowley original. Bill actually put this couch together from cows that he owned, right? And he stitched it himself using
Yes.
survivalist techniques he
Yes,
learned
he
in the
did.
Marines, right?
That's
so
right.
you can buy this couch at Crowley's Homeworks, but don't buy it till we're done with it. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm joking. And so how you been?
I've been great.
I've been great. So we've had some great guests this season.
We have.
So far.
I'm excited for the rest of them.
If you folks haven't been watching, you can catch it in post on YouTube.
Yes.
And so if you see something here you like and you go, I need to look back and see it.
Houston After Hours.
Huh?
That's
That's what it is on there. It's not
yes.
downtown Houston.
It's not. It's Houston After Hours.
Wonder why that is.
Oh.
They just stole the word from us. Anyway, I don't know what that was. But if you want to see a past episode, you can catch them on there.
Yeah.
And, I got to tell you, we get mail a lot from folks. And we need you to write into us and just tell us what you think of the show. Tell us who you want us to have as a guest. Because we're real open to that. Now, our email address is downtownhoustonafterhours@gmail.com. So make sure that you put that in there. Put that on the screen, Josh, so everybody can see it. Downtownhoustonafterhours@gmail.com.
Yes.
Good job, Josh. You did great.
And Facebook too.
Yeah, on Facebook.
Yeah.
And,
We'll get those messages as well, and we really want to hear your opinions.
Now, we have the big man on the show today. I'm
We
talking
do.
about the head honcho, the
Head
big cheese,
honcho.
the head kahuna. He's going to be on the show. That's Mayor Don Tottingham.
Yes, he is.
Now, I've known Don for a lot of years. And you know something? This town is really prospering under his leadership.
It really
And
is.
I think, am I doing okay with that?
Yeah, I think he's-
No, actually it is. It's very good.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of wonderful things. He's taken a lot of steps that a lot of people wouldn't have taken to make this community be what it is. And we're going to be talking to him today and talking to him about the challenges
Yes.
of small business, the growth, and the things that we all see as obvious things right here in town and what we can do to correct them.
Well, he's had such a great life here in this community, and I'm sure he would have a lot of insight for that.
Well, I can't wait to get to it. Let's get to him, okay?
Let's do it.
Let's pay a couple bills, and when we come back, Mayor Don Tottingham right here on downtown Houston After Hours. Don't you go away.
Crowley's Homeworks, turning houses into
From the first look at Crowley's Homeworks, you will notice the thousands and thousands of ideas for any home project. Crowley's Homeworks has the best selection in the country. You don't have to drive miles to make your home beautiful. Just come on out to Crowley's Homeworks. 3 convenient locations to serve you.
Crowley's Homeworks, turning houses into
Crowley's Homeworks, Houston, Salem, and Mountain Grove.
We've been making landmarks in Houston for years. You can be a landmark too. Come on by.
here for you, Landmark Bank, here for you.
Time for some downtown Houston After Hours shout-outs. Shout out to United Country Realty Kabul in Houston, Barb Head 967-2221 or Stacy Matherly 962-4711 in Kabul. Texas County's only national real estate franchise. Hyatt Land Title, 1215 South Sam Houston, phone 967-0238. Justin Shelby, your State Farm agent, 6783 Highway 63, phone 967-4152. H&S Flea Market, 8145 North Highway 63, phone 967-1555. Shout out to Neil Sporting Goods, 213 North Grand, phone 967-4444. Shout out to Dr. Joe Richardson, DDS, 321 South 2nd Street, phone 967-4528. That's just some of our downtown Houston After Hours area shout-outs. Well, folks, we are back, and look who's here with us, Laura, as promised.
It's our mayor, Mr. Don Tottingham.
And he said people called him Donnie back in school. Now, you're a Houston High School graduate, class of 64, you said?
No, Kabul, actually.
Kabul.
That's where I graduated.
Oh, well, see, so there you go. I messed that one up. But you were close by. You're in Texas County, so that's good.
Yeah.
Good enough. Now, you became mayor here when, Don?
in 2011.
2011. You've seen a lot of things go on in those 3 or 4 years, I bet, here in town, good and bad. You want to tell us some of the challenges of being a mayor of a small community like this?
Well, actually, I have to say that being mayor of Houston is relatively easy. We got a really good council, gets along, unlike a lot of cities in the area where they fuss and
Yeah,
have fights
I've
with
been
one
there
another.
twice, and I haven't seen you guys really in any kind of major argument. You know,
You know,
I mean,
some communities have a hard time getting along. They have a lot of challenges, but as far as governing this city is pretty easy.
Yep.
And everyone works good together, like I said. The challenge mostly in the city is trying to get employment for the citizens, trying to figure out ways to keep our youth here after they graduate from high school, have some kind of jobs that would allow them to stay here and make a living and raise their families. And those things we work on every day. Ron Reed, our economic developer, and Larry Sutton, the city administrator, work on those issues, and we try to improve it every day, and along with our infrastructures and things like that.
now, one of the things that is really special about here, and I know I crow about this all the time, and it's a very important thing, you have a technical college here.
Yes.
And that technical college also feeds some of the companies that are around. They show people how to actually work at those companies should they want to stay here. Isn't that right?
Yeah, the one we have now, Texas County Technical College, is more driven toward nursing
Right.
and hospital things.
Which are jobs that can be here in the community.
Sure, I mean, that certainly feeds our hospital some good people. A lot of their graduates do work here in town.
Yes.
And so they're very important. As a matter of fact, I was one of the first instructors that
Really?
Charlotte hired down there, and I taught intro to computers and a lot of the Microsoft stuff. And that was really nice, and they were nice to work with, and they have done a good job with that college.
Charlotte, of course, is part of the Golden family. The Goldens they came here from Phoenix many years ago and have been a staple in our communities.
Absolutely.
Both in Raymondville and in Houston.
Yes.
At just developing things, making things work. You know, it takes a team like that. And I know you know that, Mayor. It takes a team of people, of diverse people from all religious backgrounds, from all political backgrounds, working together to make a town strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things that I think you find as a joy is that you actually can be friends with the people that you govern with, and that's a great deal. That's a great deal.
Yeah, it
Now, let's talk about the impact of the jobs. You know, we see the jobs numbers go up and down. How is Texas County's job rate right now? Yeah, their unemployment rate.
I think we're fairly low. Last I noticed, I think it's around 8%, which is
That's fairly
pretty
low
good for the area.
compared to what it was 2 years ago. It was like 13%.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
it
bad.
is. Mm-hmm.
And so, a lot of the steps that you've taken, I'm sure, the board and stuff, just being able to bring in new businesses and the industrial
Mm-hmm.
park.
Well, the Durham company has increased their employment as well. They had gone through kind of a low time, but they've increased now, where they're up to around 170 employees, I believe,
Wow.
which is nice, and they pay pretty well. We got the milk unit, that was the dairy operation that's getting close to going in our other industrial park building out here. That's going to probably give 25, 30 jobs, hopefully, in time.
Wonderful.
We've got 2 or 3 other things going on, the Lee building possibilities in that will help. And so, you know, and I'd like to see Houston grow. I'd like to see it grow, the population
Next census
grow.
be
and-
up instead of down.
Well, and, you know, in the next 10 years, I'd like to see us maybe have a 50% increase, and the only way we can do that is by getting jobs in here and getting
Yes.
where people can afford to stay here.
We certainly have
and
a
live.
beautiful area. There's no reason, if we all work together, why that can't happen.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think a few things that would happen can make that, you know, make us grow.
You know, a strong chamber of commerce, a strong and viable city government, all these things make a small town.
Yes, they
Wouldn't
do.
you say?
Absolutely.
And you being a small business owner here, now you have encountered many things in this town, Laura, and you've encountered quite a few good things when it comes to the Chamber of Commerce and
Absolutely.
when it comes to the city
The
board, city council.
yes. I mean, I was president for Relay for Life 1 year and had to go before them and ask for some time in the park to go down there and readily given. They were so happy to be as helpful as they could possibly be, went above and beyond.
You know, and I have to talk about the
And
creation of
that's
the show.
every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because without the city, you know, and we're not just tooting your horn, Mayor. I mean, this is, people need to know how this show came about. Because without Don Tottingham and all the good members of the city council,
Yes.
you would not be seeing the only show of its kind in America coming right out of Houston, Missouri. There's no other show like this, Mayor. I don't know if you know that. And you were responsible, you and the board, for kicking this off.
Hi, Brady. How are you? Corner Express Shell is Houston's only locally owned and operated convenience store where we treat you like family.
At Corner Express Shell, we treat you right, one smile at a time. Corner Express Shell, Houston, Missouri.
Why move your family or your business to Houston? Because Houston has it, an open and friendly government.
And our airport with a 3,500-foot runway and new offices and hangars.
Very little crime, safe streets, and a caring community.
Houston also has one of the 13 remaining drive-in movie theaters in the state of Missouri.
A full-time director of economic development and a booming industrial park.
Living in Houston, you're part of a very caring community.
Houston Schools provides 21st century skills for college and career readiness.
A 9-hole golf course with lots of fun for the whole family. Free lessons given as well. Many lakes, streams, and rivers just a short drive away. Beautiful homes just waiting for you. Did we mention our caring community?
So if you're considering moving your family or business to Houston, we hope you'll consider Houston, because Houston has it.
Shout out to the Office Bar, 116 North Grand, phone 967-7128. Our friends at Double R Pond, 203 South Grand, phone 967-2706. Barnhart Financial, 1463 Sam Houston, phone 967-4700. Shout out to Bob's Barbershop, 112 North Grand, 217-9719. Shout out to Animal Shelter of Texas County, 6931 East Highway 17, phone 967-0700. Shout out to Darren's Body Shop, 8100 Mineral Drive, Houston, phone 967-3074.
You are the reason that I have to
And now let's go back down to Bob's barber shop, where I'm going to be under Bob's control and then share as he tells me another really bad joke.
So, man, how you want it to cut this time?
Well, Bob, if you could kind of, leave it wavy on top, maybe shave the side over here, cut it diagonal in the back, leave it real long over here on this side, take a big chunk right out of the top, man, I think it'd be good.
Now, why in the world would you want to do it like
That's how
that?
you did it last time.
And now it's time for the 2-Minute Chef.
With my son, Ian Driesel. Nepotism.
Hello, I'm the 2-Minute Chef, and today I'm going to show you how to make challah bread. We're going to start off with 1 teaspoon of sugar in some warm water with 2 tablespoons of dry activated yeast. We're just going to stir that in, let some of that yeast wake up a little bit. Now while that yeast is waking, we're going to use 5 whole eggs. We're going to beat them. We're going to mix in some oil. This is 3/4 of a cup of canola oil. 3/4 of a cup of sugar. And we're going to mix that till that turns a good pale yellow. We can do a teaspoon of salt, 3/4 cups of warm water. Alright, that yeast looks like it's waking up. We're going to go ahead and just mix that in. We're going to try to get everything out of that bowl that we can. Alright, what we're going to do next is we're going to make sure our hands are nice and clean, and we're going to start mixing in flour about a cup at a time. Get right in there with your hand. Make sure it's well mixed. All in all, it's going to be about 7.5 cups. We're going to keep mixing that till that forms a shaggy dough, which looks something like this. I'm going to dust our work surface. We're going to knead this. When you knead, you just fold up a corner and press in. Fold up a corner, press in. Fold up a corner, press in. It starts to get springy, and the dough gets a little bit drier. It starts to become springy, and it starts to be smooth on the other side. I'm going to take some non-stick cooking spray and just coat the inside of a bowl really, really well. I'm going to take the smoother part, or the part that was on the surface when you were kneading, and I'm going to put it upside down just to oil the top, and then I'm going to flip it over. I'm just going to cover that with a thin towel. Make sure that it's touching the bread so that it doesn't dry out, and I'm going to set that to the side to rise for about an hour or until it doubles in size. Alright, now that our loaf has doubled in size, let's see, we're going to oil up 2 loaf pans. Make sure you get it on the sides and on the bottom and around the edges, because it will rise up above the edges and you don't want it to stick to the edges. Set those aside. Then we're going to dust our work surface with flour. Alright, And then we're gonna punch that dough down. And we're gonna pretty much split it directly in half. Put one side on our work surface. We're gonna punch that out flat. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll it up. Put that in the loaf pan. I'm gonna take our next side. Put that in our loaf pan. We'll recover them. And we'll let those double in size one more time. All right, let's check this bread, see how it's doing. What you want to do is you want to tap it. If it sounds hollow, it's done. Now I'll set it up off of the counter to give it room to cool. Usually I'll put a towel down. I'll dump the bread out. And I'll just place the bread on the towel. I'm Ian Driesel, I'm the 2-Minute Chef, and there's your perfectly baked challah bread.
They don't make the news, they just make it dumb.
And they're good at it.
They are.
Rick and Rocky.
That's
Here they
right,
come.
from the Rooster 99.3, let's hear some dumb news.
It's now time for Dumb News with Ricky V.
Thank you, Rockstar. Love being your show here, especially on TV. Folks, here's the dumb news. Today, National Hot Dog Day, which we decided sounds better than Snout, Slips, and Buttholes Day. Garth Brooks is about to become what? It's a pretty good joke, actually. Snout, Slips. Yeah, moving right along. Garth Brooks about to become the best-selling solo act in his releases with digital music right
Really?
now. That's what it says here, but he's still going to be the worst baseball player in the history of baseball.
Welcome back to downtown Houston After Hours for another quick tip at the golf course. Today we're talking about weight shift in the golf swing, how to get that weight from your setup position back to that right side on your backswing and through the left side on your follow through. The important thing is you turn those hips, you don't shift those, you don't sway those hips. What we're looking at is to take the club back, get that weight completely back to this right side just by turning the hips. And then when you come through, after you get it back to here, to come all the way through and finish with all your weight on the left side. We promote out here the follow through to where you're facing the target and you're posing for a picture. If your target is that way, when you finish this golf swing, you're posing looking right at it and your body is aimed completely at the target. Thank you again for your time, and we'll see you next week with another tip.
Corner Express Shell wants to tell you one thing. If you try RV gas in your old clunker, you might see a magical change from that clunker into something very special, a high-performance winner. Try V-Gas at Corner Express Shell, the last locally owned and operated convenience store in Houston, Missouri.
The Spring Hill dairy farmer squints, looking up in the sky. He praises, kicks the dust, says downtown Houston it's way too dry. Clouds up in the city, the weatherman complains. But where I come from, Texas County, born and bred, I love you, Ben Davis. Rain is a good thing. Rain makes milk. Rain makes grass. Grass makes milk. Milk makes my paycheck at Spring Hill Dairy that much bigger. Rain down on my farm. Please, dear Lord, send me some. My cows are giving milk. My bulls are having fun. Rain is a good thing, yeah. Rain is a good thing. I love you, downtown Houston, Missouri.
And now it's time for some downtown Houston after hours shout out. Shout out to Progressive Ozark Bank, 1460 South Sam Houston, phone 967-4196. Pizza Express, 1450 South Sam Houston, phone 967-4473. Donnie Wells Shelter Insurance, 610 South Grand, phone 967-2400. Shout out to our friends at DNL Florist, 1468 South Sam Houston, phone 967-3705. Brad Eads, an attorney at law, 112 East Main Street, phone 967-4747. Shout out to the Houston Chamber of Commerce, 501 East Walnut, phone 967-2220. Oakwood Golf Course, 7453 Country Club Lane, phone 967-3968. Atkinson Insurance, 111 West Main Street, phone 967-2600. Martin's Plumbing, 1591 North Highway 63, phone 217-3113. And our friends at Houston Bowl, 610 Highway B, phone 967-3211.
Well, Laura, it was great to have the show with the mayor. It was his third trip to the couch.
Yes, it was.
Third trip to the curvy couch. Did a good job.
It's kind of curvy.
It's kind of, it's kind of.
We have new digs.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We have new digs here at MPI downtown in the heartbeat of Houston, Missouri.
Yeah, we are.
In the epicenter. I used that in the first season, the epicenter.
The epicenter.
Yeah, I used it to death. That was back before I got svelte. Okay, anyway, so.
Word of the day.
Yeah, the word of the day was
yes.
svelte. It's going to be on the screen for you all to look at, the definition and everything. Our cameraman, Josh. Josh, you love that word, don't you? That's right. Well, you know who we haven't even seen today at all?
Who's that?
I've been looking for him and he hadn't been here. Creepy Filipino guy.
Oh, Lord, here he comes.
There he is. Look at him. He's such a cute little apple.
I love the music.
Yeah, that's awesome. Isn't
Yeah,
it? It's
it is.
awesome.
Good
If you
job.
remember, if you want to see Creepy Filipino Guy, go look on YouTube. All you have to type in is Creepy Filipino Guy.
It's pretty
That's it.
simple.
It's real easy. Well, so next week we have another fine show. You know who's going to be on the show next week?
Who?
I do. It's Tammy Cantrell.
Tammy Cantrell.
And she has
I love
lots
her.
of great news for us. I don't even know what she's going to say, but it don't matter because her sunshine is going to brighten up our couch.
Absolutely.
And remember, folks, all this season we're telling you about the heartbeat of a community. It starts with the Lord. And we're all happy to know Him. We're happy you're here. Come back and see us again at downtown Houston after hours.
Hop in the car, going to the bar tonight. Got a rig full of friends, club full of bands, alright. No, we're not worried, we tell a story just like this. Come and get some.